Hello, friends. Welcome back to the channel. Happy Tuesday. I hope that all of you guys are enjoying your day before Valentine's Day. A lot of people celebrate Galentine's Day, right? A lot of single people get together and kind of have like a friendship thing. So if you're doing that, that's awesome. So the ladies were discussing Jon Stewart and his return to The Daily Show last night. And it's kind of split, right? I feel like a lot of people are, really excited to see him come back. We have been having a resurgence of, repetitions lately in pop culture, right? So one huge repetition, of course, is, the Chiefs playing the 49ers on Sunday, just like they did in 2020. Then we have a rematch again of Trump and Biden, just like we did in 2020. Okay. I feel like a lot of us are still trying to recover from 2020, but we're going to push forward in 2024. So Jon Stewart, he came in with a bang, and he essentially, was roasting both the ages of Joe Biden and Donald Trump, right? Just kind of echoing what a lot of people are saying that, which I've said on this channel many times as well, right? These two men are the oldest presidents in our nation's history. The United States is a fairly young nation, and so we have not had leaders that are in their 80s or late 70s ever in the history of our country. And so, and just to have them go again, it is, it's what our country wants, I guess, essentially. I have some people in my comments saying they want Dean Phillips. Other people, I'm sure, are more, they like Nikki Haley. Everyone's different, right? I have not seen what I have not seen one person, to be honest, that I would really, campaign for or say, I feel like this elected official represents my interest as an American citizen. I'm just going to be completely honest. And I don't think that Donald Trump would represent my political interest. I don't think that Joe Biden represents my political interest, unfortunately. And that's sad, right? Because, I remember people felt really united with earlier presidents, and it just feels like the country is just so, so divided. So there's so much like vitriol going on, in social media. But anyway, so the ladies were saying, that they really were backing Biden, and that the fact that he is the oldest president in our nation's history should not be the focus. Whoopi is saying that she is going to stand behind him pretty much no matter what, just because Donald Trump is so much more dangerous, and he just seems like more of a loose cannon, which, I mean, I'll give her that, right? Although on the other hand, speaking of cannons, what's going on in Gaza is truly concerning. And, Joe Biden said that he is trying his best to work with, Israel and get the hostages to come home from Hamas. And, Israel does have a right to defend itself. At the same time, the number of casualties is just heartbreaking, especially since so many are innocent women and children from, Palestinians. Like, the whole thing is just a mess. I just have to be honest. I do enjoy The View. I love hearing, their perspectives. One thing, of course, Joy is going to stick up for Biden because they're the exact same age, 81. They're both still working. Neither one wants to slow down or retire. And I will say this: it was nice hearing Sunny say to Joy that, they hang out a lot, and that Joy is, one of the sharpest tacks that she knows, which is great, right? Because Sunny, as a lawyer, she has a very, strategic, analytical mind. So for her to say that, you could tell that Joy was a bit flattered. She tried to play it off, but being a former teacher turned comedian, you could tell that she was flattered by what Sonny said. So yeah, and then the ladies move on to just saying that the election is going to be largely, of course, decided by the voters. That Biden did go onto TikTok to try to appeal to the younger voter base, which is smart, right? As a political strategy, I will say that him going toward TikTok is smart because most young voters, just looking at political strategy, they tend to overwhelmingly vote blue, vote Democratic. So for him to be on TikTok is it's pretty strategic and smart of him to do so, because I know he wants to be reelected, which only makes sense because he put in the work. I mean, he's been a senator forever, and then he was Obama's vice president before becoming vice president in 2020. I mean, becoming president in 2020. Trump is going around, and they were asking him different questions. He said that he didn't know, he doesn't recall. My thing is, with all the legal cases and the 91 indictments, that is hugely problematic. Some people, they're saying that Trump is only running to stay out of prison. That makes sense, right? People do pretty much anything to stay out of prison. Alyssa, she is basically saying, that she's really fearful of Trump being president again. I didn't know that after she left the White House that her and her family were receiving, like threats, and they were being doxxed and like harassed. That's horrible, right? I feel like she, being a member of the Trump administration, I'm sure that she learned a lot of things. Seeing them firsthand has completely changed her mindset in regards to Trump. But it hasn't pushed her enough to not be a Republican. So that's very interesting that she still wants to vote Republican down the ballot. I wonder though that because they've asked her several times, if she's going to vote for Biden, and she says no. So I'm wondering if she's going to like write in Nikki Haley's name. I mean, because she just said today that she doesn't think, she knows realistically, right, just being pragmatic, that Nikki Haley is not going to be the Republican nominee. Like Trump has just pretty much wiped out any other contender. And so it's going to be, again, like I said, a repetition, a rematch between Biden and Trump for 2024. So if she knows that, they're asking her why she doesn't vote for Biden. That's really interesting. But anyway, then the ladies start talking about relationships. So they're talking about, is there, a place and a time for a breakup? And of course, just be respectful was largely, right? Just take your partner's feelings into consideration, which I thought was common sense, but maybe not, on the heels of another Valentine's Day. Then it says, is great intimacy with a new partner a red flag? That's an interesting question. I think that, you should always want to enjoy physical intimacy with whoever that you're with. And if it's great, why would that be a red flag? Like, why wouldn't that be a green flag? I don't know. That was a weird question, in my opinion. But speaking of relationships, Billy Dee Williams was on. He was the guest on today's episode. And, he was in iconic roles such as Brian's Song and Lady Sings the Blues with Diana Ross. And so he has written a new book titled What Have We Here? You guys know Billy Dee Williams is like, crooner, R&B, just smooth as silk. So it was really good to see him. He looks great, with a nice black blazer and his, scarf tied up around his neck. But yeah, so I think that they're doing a really good job of, ushering in the whole Valentine's, season. But yeah, I want to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts on today's episode? What are your thoughts on Jon Stewart coming back? On, again, just history repeating itself in terms of our presidential candidates, Billy Dee Williams, all that good stuff. You guys let me know in the comment section. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. It's a free way to support. Thank you guys so much for rocking with me. I cannot wait until tomorrow's episode. I look forward to it. Until then, take care, be blessed, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.